want to do harm to us. But have you been contacted by the administration or anyone? Like, what's the status of that?
This is this. It was built as a maximum security prison several years ago. And we've always believed, we've written letters, talked to people, open it up, either open it up or sell it. You can't run it for a state of Illinois facility, sell it to the Bureau of Prisons. Right. And that's what they're planning on doing. But let me give you an angle here that most people don't realize. I asked the admiral in charge, I said, you have 1,950 people guarding 183. I said, can't you consolidate? He said, no. He said, we have 7 distinct camps down here. He said, one is for, Area 7 is for high-value prisoners. They call them high-value. And that's Koolidge Sheikh Mohammed is there. We're in his compound. They're a group. Then they have the leaders. And they have to physically separate the leaders from other because the leaders are able to communicate with their eyes. The leaders can tell people to commit suicide just with their eyes. Wow. And I asked him about communications. He said, we cannot, it is beyond counting the communications that go on between these, or among these prisoners and the outside world. And so we talked to numerous of the soldiers and sailors. They're absolutely astounded that Gitmo would be moved to the territorial United States. Nowhere in this country, notwithstanding the fact that there are terrorists that are housed at Terre Haute, Florence, Colorado, and Marion, Illinois, nowhere in this country do you have military guarding non-military people. Those people are guarded by the same ratio as the Bureau of Prisons, which is 1 guard for every 5 people. So now you would have the group from Unit 7 coming. Those are the leaders of Al-Qaeda in the world, waiting to go to trial. Then you would have the people that are called the leaders that can control people with their eyes. And 80% of the 183 in Gitmo would be in a communal setting, so that they would not be locked in their cells except 4 hours a day from midnight to 4 a.m. The rest of the time, it'd be in a communal setting with up to 20 people, and you would have your choice. Lots of TV, small amount of TV, and no TV. Plus they have soccer fields, state-of-the-art exercise equipment. And so you would have the terrorists that would be treated much more humanely, for lack of a better word, than the people who commit crimes in the United States, all within the same facility.
And 99% of these guys, we might add, are not American citizens. They do not fall under the U.S. constitutional rights that, let's say, a serious crime doer in Illinois who was born in the United States and actually is protected under the Constitution has.
As the prisoners become residents of the United States, as opposed to Gitmo, they take on additional constitutional rights. So
they don't have them right now in Gitmo, though, do they?
Well, they're very limited. For example, you have habeas corpus that applies. And so now we're faced with spending at least another $350 million in Army retrofits to Thompson. This is in addition to using the money to buy Thompson as a standalone prison, all for the purpose of eventually guarding 48 people. Thompson, Illinois would have 1,400 people guarding 48. You'd have about 500 soldiers and then 900 soldiers and civilians, and the latter 900 would be in Rock Island monitoring computers because of the threat that these people pose. They are extraordinarily dangerous people. Not that they would ever break out, but they serve as a magnet. And that's all we need, is to have a magnet in western and northern Illinois for terrorists to come and hang around their friends.
Right. Congressman Don Manzullo, it's going to be an interesting summer. Lots of campaigns all over the country. You, of course, are up for re-election as well. Anything else you want to add to the listeners of Northern Illinois and Western Chicagoland before we say goodbye?
No, except that you're doing a good job. People want more and more information. We found the more information you give somebody, the more they want. Well, that's good. Americans are informed at a time, at a height I've never seen before. That all proved itself with the health care hearings that we held last summer. We held, I don't know, 8 or 9, I'm not even sure the number. One of them, 800 people showed up.
Yeah, I was there.
And at the Coronado Theater.
Yeah.
And what we found is people who've never had the opportunity to go to school beyond high school were downloading that bill, reading it, digesting it, and understanding. That's phenomenal. I spent 200 hours reading that bill with the trained eyes of an attorney who had been involved in litigation involving construction of statutes. And I struggle with lots of it. Many parts of it I still don't understand to this date. But people were understanding it because they know that there's a bigger picture than health care, and that's freedom in this country. The assault upon the health care system was really an assault upon people's freedom. And the cut is so deep into people's hearts that they're saying, we're not going to tolerate this anymore. I believe everybody's essentially a Tea Party person at heart. You know, I mean, the Tea Party people, it started in Boston. You know, we are a nation of revolutionaries. We started that Tea Party, John Adams and all those people, mostly his cousin Sam, said we've had it. And we're going to demonstrate our displeasure by dumping tea into the Boston Harbor. Well, the Tea Party should not refer to a certain group today. It should refer to all of us. Anybody who loves freedom, anybody who believes that blood is worth spilling for the sake of freedom, anybody who believes in all the wars that we have fought have been for a particular purpose, anybody who believes that freedom is more important than tyranny is essentially a Tea Party. So the Tea Party people are simply giving a name to that which is in the heart of every American, and that's the ability and the willingness and the desire to be a free people.
Congressman Manzullo, thanks for coming back onto the Michael Koolidge Show.
Good to see you.
All right.